and, all that type of thing. And I'm finally like with a very kind man, and it's been a lot for me to finally accept this and like get comfortable with it. And finally, like, we were in such a good place, the best place I've ever been. Like, everything was going great. Just his lip. And I'm like, is that a cold sore? And he says, no, it's a fever blister. I don't have that. It's very expensive and dismissive. And I was like, okay, well, I just, no big deal. People have cold sores. And by the time I saw him, it had mostly cleared up. So it was his birthday weekend, just normal things happened. And then 2 weeks later, I get sick, like very sick. I have never experienced anything like this. So I go to the doctor, sure enough.
Hola, mis amores, ¿cómo están? Hi, my loves. How are you doing today? So I'm back with another vidcast podcast. Oh my gosh. I have so much fun with that. I don't know why. But yeah, so I'm back with another podcast. And y'all don't forget to go on the IPGGlux.com website to sign up for the newsletters. So every week we have weekly newsletters that go out, and those new newsletters will talk about things like self-care, decentering males, how to get started with decentering males. That is a great way to stay appraised of things, to learn more, is by signing up for our newsletters. So again, go to IPGGlux.com and just put in your email address and sign up for those free weekly newsletters. And there's also weekly blogs that come out as well. Link is in the description below. Go ahead and make sure to smash the subscribe button for me if you haven't already. Okay. Here at IPGG, we talk about anything and everything, women-centered and related, to be honest. If that's your vibe, go ahead and make sure to smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and make sure to smash that like button for me. Okay. And go ahead and smash the bell, the notification, so you get a notification every time that a new podcast comes out. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and dive in and see what we've got here, okay? Because this is wild. This podcast episode is totally wild. So let's see.
I am 39. I have been dating my boyfriend for 8 months, and it's been one of the healthiest relationships I've ever been in. Like, he is absolutely wonderful. He's kind, and it's been really hard for me to finally accept being with a kind man. My nervous system has always been attracted to men that don't want me, and all that type of thing. And I'm finally like with a very kind man, and it's been a lot for me to finally accept this and like get comfortable with it. And finally, like, we were in such a good place, the best place I've ever been. Like, everything was going great. Just his lip. And I'm like, is that a cold sore? And he says, no, it's a fever blister. I don't have that. It's very expensive and dismissive. And I was like, okay, well, I just, no big deal. People have cold sores. And by the time I saw him, it had mostly cleared up. So it was his birthday weekend, just normal things happened. And then 2 weeks later, I get sick, like very sick. All these other symptoms. And then the worst symptom imaginable, sores down there, like sores that I've never had in my life. Like, I have never experienced anything like this. So I go to the doctor, sure enough, it's the big, horrible, horrific, disgusting big H. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. And I'm like shaking and hysterical in the office. And she's like, yes, HSV1 can be given to you. Even though he only has it orally, he can give it to you genitally. Yeah. So now I have genital herpes for the rest of my life because of his stupid cold sore. And like, he doesn't have to deal with these consequences. I do. Like, I have to deal with whatever outbreaks I'm going to get. Who knows what it's going to be like. I just contracted it. And I there's two parts to this. Like, how can I ever look at myself the same? Like, I wanted to burn everything in my closet. I wanted to, like, because I never want to feel beautiful again. I wanted to just...
Leave in the comments below what you think about this particular situation and the aspect that more and more women are, decentering males and leaving the dating market and no longer dating males because more and more women are finding that they're contracting diseases from males. First of all, I'm thrown off. Okay, I'm thrown off because this woman started out by saying that this is a great male. She literally was describing him as this great person, this great male, this amazing relationship, to the point where she's had to figure out how she's going to fix herself to become good enough for this supposedly great relationship that she's in. That's how she described it currently. And then she goes into talking about the fact that he gave her, this same great male, gave her herpes. I'm going to call it herpes because I don't know, YouTube, we don't want to get, demonetized, right? So she then goes into saying that he gave her herpes. You see, this is a level of delusion, ladies, that we need to be careful about. How is it that you're still saying that this male is fantastic and it was a great relationship, and it is a great relationship, even though he gave you herpes? You see what I'm saying? Like, the math isn't mathing for me. It's like, so he's already gave you herpes, and now you're still saying it was such a great experience. Like, if that were me, y'all, I would literally regret my whole existence in life at ever coming across this individual. Nothing would be good about any of it. Anything that looked good before would be the level of betrayal and the level of like, OMG, this whole time I got played. None of it was good. I got herpes from this individual. First of all, disgusting, right? We all know males are disgusting through and through. They don't even wash their own butts appropriately, 99.999% of the time, if at all, right? So, of course he has herpes. Most of them walk around with all types of diseases because they can't help themselves. It's all they live for is to stick it into anything and everything, including animals. I made a video, y'all. I made a video. It didn't go lit, but that video was talking about males. I believe they were in India that slept with a lizard, and then they killed the lizard, and then they cooked it and ate it. It was wild, y'all. So they're out here. That's just one circumstance. They're out here, the animals, children, anything. They don't care what it is. And then they want us to care whether or not they're gay. We don't care that you're gay. It's not surprising. You will stick it into anything and everything. Okay. So that's not surprising. As long as you're not harassing women and you're not lying to women and harassing us and lying to us and trying to gaslight us, telling us that you're straight when you're not, you like males, do whatever you want. But how can she still have this? I digress. How can she still have this perception that it was so great when he literally gave her herpes? Like, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying here. It's not adding up. That's the level of delusion. That's what tells you the level that mentally that she's on. It's like, there's no way that you still have a perception that everything was so great when he gave you herpes. It's like, girl, what? And I could understand if she would have used the past tense, but she didn't. She's talking about it presently, girl. Presently, she's talking about it, girl. Talking about it's all great. Girl, what? Are you high? Anyways, y'all, let's talk about let's see what else we got here.
Oh, it's just the biggest fit of my whole life. Like, because I had a huge meltdown of just myself. How to deal with this for myself, but then also, like, I cannot even look at him. I can't look at him. Like, I can't stand the thought of him like this, and I can't be with other men now because I'm diseased. And he is, he's desperate for forgiveness. I'm like, why should I forgive you? Why? Like, the scales of justice are just so messed up here. And he's been crying for days, just wanting forgiveness, and I don't particularly want to. I don't know what to do. I don't know if forgiving him is the right thing to do, and if I do, like, what do I get for that? Like, what do I get for forgiving you? Like,
you're not a monster. You're not disgusting. The percentage of the population walking around with HSC1 is significant. There's some pretty incredible medications that can drastically reduce outbreaks. You can.
So thankfully for her, herpes is not, herpes, there's, although you have it, once you get it, you have it, it's, you can mitigate it. That's basically what he's saying here, right? It can be mitigated. So, because honestly, I thought she was going to say something else, y'all. I thought she was going to say, AIDS or something. I thought she was going to say something else. So, that's one piece. And, the other piece is just that, you heard him say it, right? The population that's walking around with transmitted diseases today is not a game. And it's mostly males. It is literally mostly males. That's who you will get it from. You're not going to get it from women, especially if you're like, you're attracted to males. Well, that's who you would get it from, because that's who you were dating, hopefully. And I say were because I'm hoping that at this point you've decentered them and that's not a thing. And even if you encounter one that you think meets certain criterias, one of the criterias, especially in 2024 nowadays, has to be you got to get tested before I even touch you, because it's not a game out here. All these males are walking around with diseases. That's why more and more women are like, whoa, 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 like, let me start this decentering process. That's a big, big part of what's been happening. Right? Okay, so you know me with the stats. Okay. Stat. So globally in 2019, males accounted for 52% of new HIV infections, and women accounted for 48%. So ladies, it's not a game. You catch them. You catch HIV from males, y'all. That's where you get it from. Literally, that's where you get it from. So if you haven't started this decentering process, I don't even know what to tell you. Look at the next part of this. In 2020, over half, which is 57% of people living with HIV in the United States were gay and bisexual. You get it from males. They are the ones that bring it to you. So if you needed a reason, let's have this be the reason, if nothing else, to protect yourself from this, because that lady on the phone could be anybody. That could be anybody. It sucks even worse for her because she actually had a warning. A lot of times, what if you didn't see him for that week and there was no cold sore? You know what I mean? And, and these dudes don't get checked. They don't go to the hospital. That's not a good person. That male is not a good person. He's just lying. He probably already knew that he had that. And in order to hook the woman, the prey, right, he puts on this mask all the way through for months and months and months and months, and then gives her the infection knowingly. And now look, now she's feeling like she's stuck with him, because who else is going to want me now? That was his plan all along, whether subconsciously or consciously. I think a lot of them even do it subconsciously, which is even scarier. A lot of males, they're just predators through and through. And a lot of them do it even subconsciously. Even the ones that might not know that they have that will do it subconsciously, because there's no way you don't know that you have something with the sores and stuff like that, but you just keep going, right? So if that's not enough of a reason, let this be, right? Let's take a look at one more thing here. Okay, one more thing here, y'all. According to Very Well Health, just like a health website, a health-related website, very well known, about 8% of males aged 14 to 49 have genital. However, the rate of genital herpes amongst males who have SEX with other males is about 16% to 28%, depending on the ethnicity. And then you wonder why I tell you to leave these males and I hope more and more of them go gay, honestly. You know what it reminds me of? All throughout history, if you read history books and you know anything about history, you know that back in the day, it used to be commonplace for relationships and marriages to take place within the same family. So incest, right? That used to be common. That was nothing. That was like, that's how else are you going to do it, right? Guess what happened? They all started dying off. All the children that were being born started being born with all types of defects and infections and all types of things. And it finally clicked for them that, oh, well, I guess we can't do that because it's not nature's way. Throughout history, males have always been gay. Most of them have always been gay. They literally, most of them hate women. They literally do. I hate to say it, but it's the truth, right? They do not like women because they're jealous of women. Like, for example, women, most of us don't have this incestuous need to for sex. Most of us. There's some that are like that have been beat down by the patriarchy and can't live without it, right? I don't know what that's about. But for a lot of us, most of us, that's not the case. We have lives outside of that. We prefer not to have to deal with that. And we know already that most males suck at it anyway. So it's a complete waste of our time, right? And also, we're the ones that have to go through pregnancy and the giving birth process. So even more reason for us to not, overindulge or even indulge at all into those aspects. So when you let them just be gay, the biggest thing for me is I don't really have an issue with that. I think more and more of them should just come out. Because the biggest thing is, as long as you're not lying to women and trying to use women as cover-ups, do whatever you want. Most women are going to be like, no, thanks, I'm good, but best of luck. And which is how it's supposed to be. I mean, you have the right. If that's what you like, then go after what you like. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But the biggest and foremost issue that I have with this is when they lie to women. And then they'll have and build this whole family knowing that you're gay. That makes no sense to me. I said what I said. That makes literally no sense to me. And then on top of that, not just that, but look at all the diseases that they're exposing you to because of their chosen lifestyle, which most women would not sign up for. So completely irrational. We all know that the XY chromosome is, I don't want to say it's a mutation. I didn't want to say that. I was thinking about the D word because like that's the only thing that was coming is, the D word, but it's a mutation, right? So we all know that aspect. And I think that has a lot to do with why males have such a hard time existing outside of having a woman around. So let's see what else we've got here.
Oh, because I've got friends with this.
Do you drive?
Outbreaks. You can still be with people. How do I know? Because I've got friends with this.
Do you drive them?
No, why?
Do you look at them worse because of it?
No. They may never win a cut down war with me, but
rebellious. So this particular thing is weighing very heavy on me.
Is it because you were told there's some cosmic curse?
Yes.
Okay, stop.
Okay, so she grew up Mormon. That's basically what she said. So just a quick reminder of the dangers of religion.
If he was just a knuckleheaded guy that thought he had a zip by the side of his mouth, he had no clue, and now he's devastated too, he deserves compassion and grace too. And he doesn't have to get it today.
Okay.
But you torturing him and being mean is there's just no reason for it. If you need some space, tell him I'm not in a position to.
That is so crazy to me. For him to give this advice is wild to me. It's like, what? He deserves compassion and grace too. So you want me to be worried about him having compassion and grace when I'm the one that contracted the disease through my private parts, not even like my mouth. But you want me to be worried about giving him compassion and grace? That literally does not even make any sense. What kind of stupid advice is that? That's so dumb. To me, that's stupid advice. And to me, that just goes to show that you can't take males seriously. You cannot take any advice from a male because they are what they are, which is their gender. Because what kind of advice is that to give a woman the advice that you should stay with a male that gave you herpes? That doesn't make any sense. How can you stay with a male who gave you herpes? Now, I thought about this and I'm thinking, well, from a societal level, it's probably better for the rest of us because hopefully that will deter the both of them from dating outside of their relationship, therefore keeping society safer as a whole. Because now we don't have two single people with herpes potentially going out there and spreading it. So from that standpoint, I do want her to stay with him because they both already have it. And it wouldn't really make any sense to put other people at risk because most of these people are not going to tell you that they have that. If you're dating them, if you're seeing them, they're not going to tell you that they have it. So unless you insist on a test being done, you won't know. You will catch it though, but you won't know, especially if you're a woman. So to me, it's like you should it would be nice if she stayed with him because from a societal level, it keeps the rest of us safer. So they're not out hunting for someone else and kind of spreading this thing around. But as like individual advice to say it that, oh, it's because he deserves compassion, to me, in my opinion, is ludicrous. He deserves compassion, and I'm supposed to do what? Like, I'm not his, am I his mother? He literally gave me herpes. Like, what is he even smoking? Like, okay, yeah, this guy's completely out of touch. Leave it in the comments below if you feel differently. I don't understand telling a woman to show compassion to the male that gave her herpes. That is wild, in my opinion.
Give time to the feeling of disgust. Give time to the feeling of grief. Give time to, here's what's beneath all of this, like deeper than all of this, is this idea that can't freaking Jessica just catch a break with a guy? Please.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Is
there a long line of them? Like,
oh, terrible. Before? Yes.
And so yes. I think there's, yes, herpes is a thing, and yes, you seeing sores on your genitals is it.
There's a long line of them. So again, if you're going to keep putting yourself on these apps and dealing with these males one after the other, because there's a never-ending sea of them. There's too many of them here. That's why the world is encountering the issues that it's encountering today, because there's too many of them. There's too many males here. They're not productive. Most of them are no longer working or choosing not to work. And they're just completely useless species, most of them, right? And on top of everything else, there's too many of them here. So if you're going to keep chasing them to where you have a long line of them, and this guy can fix his lips and say there's a long line of them, aren't they? And he's right. There's a problem there, right? And this is another reason why most women are decentering males, because they have dealt with males on several occasions. And the lucky ones have come out with just a broken heart. The very unlucky ones have a broken heart, and now they have a sexually transmitted disease on top of that. Crazy.
Take away from me
is disorienting, right?
Oh.
It's disorienting. Like, it's almost like it separates you from yourself. That's somebody else's body part, right? I get that. And you're still incredibly lovable.
I just don't believe that.
You don't have to, but I don't lie on the show, so I'm telling you the truth. You don't have to. But
There's no way this doesn't take away from me in some way. There's no way this doesn't some way this is a blight on me.
That is a strange way to live the rest of your life. But that's a choice you can make. It's a choice you can make.
I don't think he's meaning to do this, but he's very dismissive of her feelings. And it's weird to me how dismissive he's being of her feelings, but yet advocating for her to recognize the male's feelings, the male that literally gave her herpes. I don't think that was his intent. I think that's a byproduct of talking to a male about something that he could never in a million years understand from a woman's perspective. There's no way. And I agree with her. There is no way that this could not change who you are on a fundamental level. It does. You effed up big time. So the fact that you're still debating whether or not to stay with a male that gave you herpes is wild to me. But if you are that type of person that's sitting there still debating it, you might as well just stay and keep the rest of society safer from a societal standpoint. Because if you're sitting there and you're still debating it, that's how desperate you are to have a male, right? You might as well just stay. And now you both have even more reason to make sure that it works between the both of you, while simultaneously keeping society safer. But yeah, I think he's just being dismissive. I think he doesn't mean to do that, but that's exactly what he's doing, right? I mean, I think he's trying to encourage her to move past it, but that's not how that's coming across to someone that just found out that they were giving herpes by this male that they were seeing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, this is another reason why more and more women are choosing to decenter males, because the male will give you an infection and everyone will just tell you to get over it. As if the male didn't give you an infection. Males will give you infections and everyone will just tell you, yeah, just get over it. Yeah, but you can't mistreat the male. You can't treat the male badly. Even if he gave you an sex disease infection, you got to treat him well. You have to be compassionate. You have to be nice. So this is a big contributor to why women are saying, nah, I think I'm good. Nope, absolutely not. And keep in mind that you could ask for a test at the beginning and maybe they test negatives for all these things. He ends up cheating on you, then brings it back home. And guess what? Surprise. Now you have sex disease from whoever, most likely a male, he cheated on you with, girl. I'm telling you, this stuff sounds far-fetched. It happens every single day. It's becoming more and more commonplace. Which is why more and more women are saying, you know what, never mind. Right?
I can choose to act like it's no big deal. I can choose to act like it's nothing.
Yep. It's something.
Like,
it's something.
In what world?
What are you talking about? You have a guy that you just been telling me that for the better part of a year, you've fallen head over heels for the wonderful guy. And he's calling you every day in tears saying, my God, I hurt the person that I love the most. Can I come see you? And you're thinking about torturing him and killing him and shaming him, dragging him out of your car down New Mexico. Why?
Because I'm enraged at the injustice. Like, why does he yet again?
Get over the injustice part, dude.
Consequences. No consequences for him.
Okay, then break up with him right now, Jessica. Let him go then. Let him go.
I agree. It's like, I'm sorry. So why are you still with him? I don't care about her fantasizing about taking him out of this world because I'd be fantasizing about the same thing. I might actually do it, girl. I'm not even going to lie. So I don't care about that. He's trying to advocate for a guy that gave her herpes. It's wild to me how he's just like seeing this as a problem that she has when he's the one that gave her herpes. Again, you can't take any males seriously. This is a male. That's why he sounds like that. And that's why he's speaking like that. Because he probably doesn't even care about women, but thinks he cares, but he doesn't. Because how can you be saying and so outraged at how she's pissed at this dude when he gave her herpes? It's wild to me. Like, I'm so confused. But the part that I do agree with is like, well, she sounds dumb and she has to take responsibility because she has been chasing male after male after male, which means you have made your whole existence revolve around males and chasing males. And this is the consequence of that. And now, even now, you refuse to leave him. You're listening to him cry and do all this nonsense. Like, what is he crying about? You already have herpes. He already gave it to you. And now he wants to be the one that's crying. To me, that would piss me off even more because the audacity to start crying when I'm the one that has it. So you're now even trying to rob me of any empathy, any feelings of sadness that I could have from it because now you want to be crying in front. It's manipulative. It's wild when you're the one that gave it to me. You know what I mean? So the fact that she's still with him is ridiculous. You know, and if you're going to stay, even though he gave you herpes, then yeah, that's on you. That's why he's telling you to get over it. He's basically telling her, just get over it. If you're going to stay, then get over it. That's your fault. Which is wild, y'all. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. So some of these comments say, can we please stop acting as if she's mad about him giving her a cold? It's literally an STD. Nobody wants to explain that they have an incurable STD to anyone. So yes, many people have it, but no one is looking for it. But she needs to break up with him if she plans to emotionally assuage him for it. Right? That's true. I don't know. I would do all the emotional assuage I feel like doing and then break up with him. But I would already have the intent of breaking up with him. You know, if I'm being blatantly honest, I don't care about his feelings. I don't care about, because I feel like he did it on purpose. I really, really do. Most of the time, males do it on purpose. They don't get checked because they know something's wrong and they know they might find something. So just by doing that alone, he did it on purpose. There's no way he has these cold sores and blisters and stuff and never thought maybe I should go to a doctor and make sure that it's nothing. right? Because I don't have a cold in conjunction to it. They're just these blisters that are showing up on my face. So he never even thought to get checked. So he knew most of the time, at the very least, they know that something's up. They know something's wrong and they choose to not get checked. So they do it on purpose because they're predators through and through. They don't have any real feelings. All that crying he's doing, fake. Fake. How are you going to cry? Why are you the one crying when you're the one that gave it to me? It doesn't even make any sense when you stop to logically process it, in my opinion, right? So yeah, I mean, that's just the truth about what I would do. I know it's not the best, but that's what I would do. I can't even imagine you telling me that you gave me herbs. I would literally emotionally torture you to the ground and then leave. Because it's like, now what are you going to do once you've left? It's going to be wild. You know, if you're someone that wants a partner still. Tough situation, you know, but I totally get where she's coming from. Jessica, the exact same thing happened to me 15 years ago. Wow. I have genital HSV1 cold sore at the time. This is really important. I want you to know that you are going to be okay. You're still the same person you were before this happened. No, you're not. You're not the same person that you were before this happened. I don't know why they're lying to themselves. You're the same person internally, but you're not the same person externally. It's a very, very life-changing event. If you were still the same person, we wouldn't be having these discussions about this, right? So take it very seriously and learn from those women and these comments. I'm appreciative that they're sharing their experiences because, you know, it's really all we can do is just learn and be more careful and decenter males. Okay. So she says, I broke up with him and I also moved on and found a new partner who has been with me for 10 years. I take antiviral meds for his protection and he has not gotten it. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. We read the stats. It's hard for males to get it. So if I were her, I would have been left. First of all, I wouldn't have called the show talking about it in present day, presently saying how great it is, how great the relationship and the guy is. No way. The guy's a monster. He's a complete monster. No way. Can't emotionally manipulate me like that. She doesn't want to be with him, but she doesn't want to leave him because she thinks nobody else will want her. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If you read this, herpes is very common. I was devastated when I was diagnosed with it, but I went on to have a very active sex life with males without herpes themselves. They were fully aware, and I'm in a happy relationship and have a 2-year-old and a 2-year-old son 7 years later. Life goes on. Yeah, life does go on. For her sake, like literally, like I would leave, but from a societal standpoint, it's safer for society if you stay with him. So I'm torn between those two ideologies. Leave it in the comments below what your thoughts are, because I am torn. Because if, say she was like a friend or something, I would tell her, like, are you nuts? What are you still doing there with this POS? You know? But as a practitioner, I'm like, you know what? It's probably safer for society for you to stay with that male so you don't unintentionally infect someone else. But at the same time, we're talking about males. So whoever you unintentionally infect is going to be a male. So do I really care that much? I don't know. I mean, debatable, right? But I feel like yes, because if you infect that male unintentionally and then that male goes and sleeps with another woman and then that woman gets infected, that's how it spreads, you know? So two sides of the same coin, right? Leave it in comments below what your thoughts are. Her honesty and rage are really refreshing. So many callers bottle themselves up and don't show emotion. Yeah, and he was trying to shut her emotions off. Like, why, this is not a big deal. Why are you so upset? Blah, blah, blah. Like, sorry, because he gave her an STD. That's why she wants to help him exit Earth. Totally understandable. You know? So I'm a pediatric dentist, and HSV1 is commonly spread at a young age just by sharing toys, utensils, and things of that nature. Jessica is right to feel upset, but her indignation to want full justice in her own small universe is going to be her own downfall. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what she's still doing there. I would consciously make the guy emotionally suffer and then just leave. Actually, I would make him emotionally suffer by just leaving, y'all. That's how you take them out. You gave me an STD. You're a POS. You can never be more than a POS. I'm out. That's how the retribution, ironically, the retribution she's looking for, that's the only way she would get it to the fullest extent. But yet she's still sticking around, listening to him cry, wasting time. I don't know. That's my opinion, but like, leave it in the comments below what you think. I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed too if someone gave me herpes. Exactly. Makes literally no sense. As someone who has been in your shoes, it definitely gets better. Yeah. So a lot of supportive comments from women, which I love to see. But yeah, so leave it in the comments below what you think about this particular situation and the aspect that more and more women are, decentering males and leaving the dating market, and no longer dating males because more and more women are finding that they're contracting diseases from males. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the bell so you get a notification every time a video comes out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.